Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to another lecture of Social Studies for class 5th. In this lecture, we will be continuing our first chapter, Classification of Regions in Pakistan. So let's start with the great name of Allah, who is the most merciful and beneficial. In our previous lecture, we were discussing about the mountainous regions. We discussed about some of the mountainous regions like Himalayas, Karakoram Range and Hindu Kush Mountains in Pakistan. We discussed about some of the most famous, the second highest mountain, that is K2, and about its height. Then we discussed about some of the other highest mountains in Pakistan. We discussed about the life of the people, that how difficult their life was and how they were not being provided with all the facilities that we are being provided to the people who are living on the plain areas. Then we discussed about its temperature, and we discussed about how the people of that area make their living. Then we discussed about the Bhutan and its mountainous regions. Now today we will be discussing about the Playto region. Now what is a Playto? Playto is also like a mountain. It is one of the landform that grows above the land or above the ground, but its height is not that much as compared to the mountain. Like if there is a mountain, the mountain height is in thousands of meters, while the heights of the Playto, they are in about hundreds of meters. The Playto is not in the form of the peak at the end, as the mountain in its highest point, it is like the peak. It has a peak at the end, while Playtos, they usually are flat from the above. Now we will discuss about some of the Playtos in Pakistan. The Playto region includes the Balochistan Plateau, the Salt Range and the Potahar Plateau. Now these are some of the most famous plateaus in Pakistan. The ones are the Balochistan Plateau, the Salt Plateau and the Potahar Plateau. The Balochistan Plateau region is sandy and dry because it has very little rainfall. Now the plateaus in Balochistan region, they are very dry because Balochistan land is usually dry. There is a very little amount of rainfall in Balochistan region. So the plateaus there are also sandy because there is the lake of water. As there are no high rate of rainfall there, therefore the plateaus there are dry and sandy. Minerals like coal, natural gas, iron and copper are found in great quantity. Now as we know that in mountains and as well as on the plateaus in the Playto region, we find a lot of minerals. So in the Balochistan Plateau, we find the minerals like coal, natural gas, iron and copper, and they are found in a great quantity. The average height of Plateau is 600 to 900 meters. Now we discussed that the height of the mountains, that is in Pakistan, the highest mountains are about 8,611 meters or 6,500 meters. Their height is, but the plateaus, the height of the Balochistan Plateau is about 600 to 900 meters. The Salt Range has an average height of 600 to 700 meters, except at Sakisar, where it rises to almost 1500 meters. Now the Salt Range, where there are a lot of plateaus like the Balochistan Plateau region, in Salt Range there are a lot of plateaus as well, and their height is about 600 to 700 meters. Only there is one exception, that is of the Sakisar, and its height is about 1500 meters. The Kyora Salt Mines is located in the Salt Range. Now I hope that you have heard about the Kyora Salt Mines. That is a mine that is all built up of salt. So the Kyora Salt Mines, it is also located in the Salt Range. They are the biggest rock salt mines in the world. Now Kyora Salt Mine is known to be the world's biggest rock salt mine. It is all built up of stone. There is a mosque in there that is also built up of stone. All the parts, all the decoration pieces and everything there is made up of stone, made up of salt. So they are the biggest rock salt mines in the world. Much of the area is used for sheep grazing as the land is unsuitable for cultivation. As we discussed in the mountainous regions, that people there, they used to make their living through agriculture. They used to grow crops and vegetables, and they then sell those crops and vegetables to other parts of the country, and they made their living. Now, as we have discussed that in Balochistan Plateau region, there is a very little rainfall, due to which they cannot produce they could not produce crops or vegetables. So what do they do for their living is that is used for sheep grazing. Much of the area is used for the sheep grazing, like they keep the sheep or the cattle, and then they earn money through them. Because the land is unsuitable means that is not good. The land there is not good for cultivation. The Potohar Plateau has almost the same height as the Salt Range. Now the Potohar Plateau, it is of the same height as the Salt Range, and that is 600 to 700 meters. You can see there is a picture of the salt mine in Kyora that is all built up of stone, and there is the picture of the Balochistan Plateau. Now moving towards the next page. The twin cities of Rawalpindi and Islamabad are located on the Potohar Plateau. Now, the twin cities of Rawalpindi and Islamabad are very close to each other. That's why they are being called as the twin cities. So, Rawalpindi and Islamabad are located on the Potohar Plateau. The part of the Potohar Plateau region receives slightly more rainfall than the Balochistan Plateau region, so it is more fertile. Fertile means that its soil is good, its soil is fertile, so it could be used for cultivation and for agriculture. So they are saying that the twin cities of of Islamabad and Rawalpindi, they are located on the Potohar Plateau. So Potohar Plateau, there is a little more rainfall as compared to the plateaus of the Balochistan. So the plateaus of the Balochistan or the Balochistan Plateau, they are dry and they are sandy and they are not good for cultivation. But Potohar Plateau, it receives slightly more rainfall. Like there is a little more amount of rainfall as compared to the Balochistan Plateau. So it's the Potohar Plateau, it is more fertile as compared to the Balochistan Plateau. Wheat, maize, barley, bajra, gram and groundnut are the major crops. Like if the soil is fertile, if the Potohar Plateau region is fertile in Rawalpindi and Islamabad, so and it is fertile because of a little more rainfall, so the soil there is good for cultivation and to grow. In the Playto region, from May to September, hot and dusty wind blows across the area. Now we have discussed that in the Playto region, as we have discussed in the Balochistan Playto region, that the area there is sandy and it is dry. And the reason for the land to be sandy and dry is that there is a little amount of rainfall. So the temperature from May to September, it is a time that we are facing the summer season. In Pakistan it is a summer season, and in Pakistan the summer season is really hot. So the Playto region, where there is a little amount of rainfall, the wind that blows in that region is hot and it is dusty. There is very little rainfall in Balochistan Plateau. Now we have discussed that the Balochistan Plateau, it receives a very little amount of rainfall, and due to that reason it is not possible for them to grow the crops. The land there is not good for cultivation. Though the Potohar Plateau receives adequate rainfall, and the Potohar Plateau, it receives a slightly more rainfall as compared to the Balochistan Plateau. Your task for today is that you have to write down the answers of few of the questions given in your textbooks on page number 10. So, number first is, how many physical regions are there in Pakistan? Name them. So you have to write down the physical regions of Pakistan and you have to write down their names. You can find all the names of the physical regions in Pakistan on page number 1 of your textbooks. The second is, how do the people living in the mountainous region make a living through tourism? Now we have discussed that people living in the mountainous region, their life is very difficult and they could not do any other business or any other thing, they could not do anything else to make their living. So they make their living through agriculture, by growing crops, and one of the other way for them to make their earning was the tourism. So you have to write that, you have to explain that how do the people who are living on the mountainous region, they make a living through tourism. When tourists they come and visit the mountainous regions, so they serve them. How do they serve them? Like, they make the staying areas, they make the hotels, they make the inns, and then they provide them with the food, and they make earning, they make living through tourism. So you have to explain that how could be a tourism beneficial for the people living in the mountainous region, and how could they make the living through tourism. Then question number 3 is, why are living conditions difficult in these regions? In these regions means in the mountainous regions. So we have discussed in a very detailed way that how the people living in the mountainous region, how their life is difficult. You can take help for this question from the lecture. Number 4 is, how are the Balochistan Playto region and the Anatolian region alike? So you have to write down what are the similarities between the Balochistan Playto and Anatolian region. We have discussed that as well in a very detailed manner. Then you have to write question number 5, write a note on the salt range, and you have to write a short note on the salt range. You could find all the answers of these in your textbooks. You can take help from the both lectures I have delivered on the mountainous region as well as on the Playto region. You can take help from some elders at your home. I hope this is all clear to you. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.